I do agree, and we accept it. Mr. Professor Bhavwada is a very renowned expertise is in Delhi. He was also a member of ministry in that panel. So he told Mr. Devnath, whatever forest you create, there is no microorganism on the soil. And because of that, there is no fauna. You have to create fauna. If there is no fauna in the forest, so there is not a real forest. Then he gave a new technology, spreading that seeds and all these things, let the grass grow, then first stage and fourth stage plantation like that. And probably, I left that time, the way the forest is being created. So we proved that Coal India is created two natural resources. One is water and one is forest. But I would say that the dust is a really hazard. There is no doubt about it. But the way in the morning, Coal India chairman has spoken that so many silos and other things is coming up. And your washery. So these are the things is very much needed to control the environment in a very nice way. Lastly, I would like to add one thing. There are so many climatic and environmental discussions in the Paris and Brazil and in other countries. But my view is, whatever decision has been taken, how much has been implemented in the reality over the years, like in the last 15 years. I've got, everybody has got doubt. The way the Amazon forest deforestation is going on. It's a very large-scale deforestation. I had been to there. I've been on to see that places, and I've seen the way it is being. Still, it is going on, and we are just saying. And second issue is a world issue because of the geopolitics. Now, China and Russia, they have a plan to have a corridor along this Arctic Ocean, due to Arctic Circle, so that the distance will be reduced by is about 3,000 or 3,500 kilometers. So they can get access to Western Europe and the America this way. Now, if it happens, I've read few literatures written by the world, environmentologists. If it is really done, if this corridor is being used just very near to this, your Arctic Oceans, they have made it already. If it is continued, then it will be a great disaster to this environment. What you talk about this, it is nothing compared to that. So this is my submission. Thank you very much. Thank you for the organization for giving me to speak on this subject. Thank you very much.
Now I'll request Mr. Nag, Chairman of the session, to give his assessment about the activities and speeches expression by the speakers of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Gruber sir. I think there is not much to say about, after summing up by my co-chairman, Mr. Devnath. This has been a session which highlighted a very important issue of coal gasification. In fact, 3 of the papers took this subject of coal gasification, and 1 paper was from NTPC, which highlighted the issue of implementation of the government policies. As regards coal gasification, the uses of coal being the theme of this session, usage of coal in coal gasification is a subject which though it is very cost prohibitive, but then it is going to catch the attention of the nation, of the government. So I think this has been a very fruitful session in that respect. Thank you all for being patient listeners to this session, all the speakers. I was talking to Mr. Dharade. He has a very, a broad spectrum view of how he is planning to do things in India after coming back from USA as regards coal gasification and associated things. These are very interesting subjects, but I think we should close this session. We are going to listen to Mr. Razdan. From morning, I was keen into listening to him, and then we are having a very interesting panel discussion session. So let me close this session right here. Mr. Grover, thank you. Thanks to India Coal Forum for giving me this opportunity to session this year. Thank you.
Gentlemen, there's slight change in the program. Instead of having tea break now, and since we are already entered into the next session, so I'll request Mr. Gautam to come and take the dais for starting session with Mr. Rajdan as the... Oh, sorry. Okay, yes. Sorry, very sorry. So, before we close the session, I'll request Mr. Nag to give the memento to our speakers, Mr. Dada. Mr. Kirtak Jalkar. Mr. Deepak Jindal. Now I will request Mr. Devnath to give the memento to Mr. Kapil Dhagat. And also Mr. Devnath to give presentation to chairman of the session, Mr. Nag. Okay. And give the presentation to Mr. We close this session, and the next session, Mr. Gautam will take over, and Mr. Rajdan will be the key speaker for the session.
I thank you for the audience to be here even after the lunch session. And I was barking, not many people were asleep. As a matter of fact, I didn't find anyone who had gone to sleep. So that speaks the real excitement that the people have and the quality of the speakers. Now the next session, slight change. With the change, the tea would be taken after this session. I request Sri Anil Rajdan, IAS, former Secretary, Ministry of Power, who is the key speaker of this session, to please come to the dais. I also request Sri U. Kumar also to be on the dais, please. I have great honor to present to you Sri Anil Rajdan, IAS, former Secretary, Ministry of Power. He is an expert in his own right of the energy sector, a great orator, a big brainstormer and a thinker, and a great leader. We are indeed very grateful to him for taking the trouble of coming all the way from Delhi to just address us for this brief session. He came by flight this morning, and after this session, he is going back to Delhi. So that is, we are most grateful to you, sir, for being with us. Sri Anil Rajdan is a former Secretary, Power and Special Secretary, Additional Secretary, Petroleum and Natural Gas to the Government of India. He has worked as Joint Secretary, Power Director and Joint Secretary, Atomic Energy, Government of India. He was the Principal Secretary to the Government of Haryana in Irrigation, Power and Public Works Department, besides Chairman, Haryana Power Generation Corporation, Chief Administrator in Haryana Urban Development Authority, and Director Town and Country Planning, Director School Education, Director Public Relations, Information and Tourism, and Press Secretary to the Chief Minister of Haryana. Shri Rajdan has been the Chairman cum Managing Director of Northeast Electric Power Corporation and a board member of Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, Gas Authority of India, Indian Oil, Power Grid, National Hydroelectric Power Corporation,